welcome back, everybody. We have another stream for you guys today, and today I'm here with Hobo. Say hi, Hobo.
Hello.
And Rideout from Sweden.
Hello.
And we are discussing the European immigration crisis, which, if you don't believe in, then you're slightly insane. Alright, so I'm going to have Rideout as our only European here start with whatever with his opinions.
Yeah.
With your opinions, sir.
On European immigrants.
On European immigration crisis.
Pretty shit currently. Like only in Sweden, where I live, we have about 1.5 million immigrants, I think.
Isn't that quite a large percentage of just the Swedish population in general?
We have 10 million in total, so yeah.
10 million Swedish people, or 10 million people in general?
10 million people in general.
So that's a good 10% of your population, or
yeah,
20.
About 10-15%, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, but there's also an issue with, like, if you ever see a video of Munich anymore, you can't see anything else besides, like, hijabs. And you see, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's what that brings. You know, there's always bad people that come in with the good, especially from war-torn areas. Like, I'm never gonna say that immigrants aren't bad in general, but there are some bad ones. Hobo, as a conservative, what is your opinion on this? And as a Californian, which I know they are very open, like Sweden.
I don't look as much of as more culture or
yeah,
ethnic, but I look at like the economic side and the people that don't work and live off welfare. I get really annoyed about those immigrants, and that's a large population of the immigrants that flood into Sweden and Europe.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially with Sweden's easily abusable welfare system, there's really no way to get them to want to work, because they get paid more just to sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, true. They live off the social, like, money the state gives them.
Yeah, I mean, they can afford better houses than most of the Swedes.
Yeah, true.
And they're immigrants. They're not necessarily known to be the highest class in most countries. Because normally, if you look at America, most of the immigrants are poor. I mean, occasionally a few of the smarter ones do make their way into business and things like that, but usually it's nowhere near that bad. But for a big thing with Europe also is Italy is struggling to keep the illegals, immigrants out, which it's okay to immigrant as long as you're legally doing it. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a lot of illegal immigrants, so that's a big issue, along with refugees.
Yeah, true. We have a lot of those in Sweden.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of illegal ones, especially from like West or from Africa, that flood into Italy. So Italy's been having a bit of turbulence with that. But yeah, that's always an issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, especially with the recent upcoming Italian elections, that's definitely or the recent Italian elections that did happen, that becomes an issue, because let's just say the Italian nationalists definitely got a big win in Italy this year. You know what I mean? Because whenever there's immigrants, there's always the opposers. There's always the people that don't like it. And a lot of times with like countries in Europe, they get nationalistic due to their tendencies with extreme nationalism. Which there's nothing wrong with nationalism. When it gets ultra nationalistic, that's when it becomes an issue. But Redo, what do you think could be done to fix this issue though in your country?
Huh, good question. For the first, we can start to like
Slow down with
slow down the intake of immigrants in the country, and then fix out like illegal immigrants that are here.
Yeah. Well, my thing is you at least need to have a filter where you can get the, like get immigrants that are actually in need of immigration and also are maybe beneficial to the society and have a want to become Swedish. Because if you're not becoming Swedish or British in the case of Britain, then you're not. Then why are you there? If you don't want to become part of the country's population.
Well, that's also another problem with immigration, is they take these immigrants, and then the immigrants don't learn Swedish, or they don't learn German.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is they don't integrate to society. They don't integrate to society, which is a big issue a lot of times. Because if you don't learn the native language, then how are you supposed to communicate with people there? How are you supposed to get into politics and be the change you want to see? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, your communities just get poorer and poorer, because you can't get a member in parliament because nobody will vote for them unless it's like an area fully controlled by your people, because nobody can understand the language he's speaking. And maybe a well-educated one can speak Swedish, but what's the point if his people can't?
Yeah, true that.
His or her, because I know Sweden likes to. This is one of the feminist countries.
What did you say?
I said him or her because Sweden's one of the feminist countries.
You can't even say that probably because they're non-binary.
Ooh, yeah. I said feminist, not. But yeah. But I come from an area where there's plenty of Bosnian immigrants, which are majority Muslim, but you see a lot of them are hardworking people. If you look at a lot of the people that come into Europe, they're not Bosnian. The Bosnians are fine with integrating. A lot of the Bosnians know English perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of the Bosnians are willing to learn the language, willing to fit in with the culture, or just maybe not even fit in, just get used to it, get used to working with it, get used to living next to people of different cultures. You don't have to convert your culture, you just have to be accepting of the host culture. Otherwise, you have no reason to be in that country. You have to at least learn their language, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Because if I go to Spain, I'm not gonna be able to even get food there half the time.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do shit without the language.
Yeah. If I go to Sweden, and I know that at least half of them will speak English.
Yeah, we have that like at least 50% of people do speak English.
Yeah, true. I'm telling him where we are. If Mira joins us. Then we can get another opinion on this, because I know he's different. He got a different opinion on all this. Because he's got a more probably opposite opinion of the three of us, because I know we all agree on the same terms, mostly. And my personal thing is if they're not disturbing my freedoms, then I could really care less if they're in my country, as long as they're working and paying their taxes. If they're paying their taxes and not impeding on my life, then I really don't care. You know what I mean? Which, from my knowledge, is the standpoint of most other libertarians. But I have no idea. Falsum is in general. Let me move him in here. Hello, Falsum. Alright, everybody, this is Falsum. You've met him before, or he's been in before.
Hi, what up?
I'm going to switch to general real quick and server mute Mason. I'll be right back. Falsum, your mic is doing something weird. I server muted you. Please don't be cancer. This is a non-cancer Discord where we debate. I muted you so you don't ear rape us. Alright, I'll move him in now.
Hi, Hobo.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Alright, I've unmuted you now, Mason. We're talking about the European immigration crisis. Cause right out there.
That's a lie. It's a figment of your imagination. They should all be executed on site.
Okay. Do I have to move you out again?
I support the white national.
Alright. I should have never added him in here.
And I gave him the Discord link also.
Why?
He asked for it.
Why would you give it to him?
Oh, fun. Block him, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not gonna block him. He's my friend. He's just cancer. just because he's not just because he's my friend doesn't mean he's not cancer.
Oh my god.
Was he spamming general or something? Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Look. Oh, okay. Whoopsie. Kick Mason.
Well,
kick.
Let's get back on the topic.
Oh.
So, Falsum, what is
Can
your
somebody delete the chat, please?
on the European immigration
Can somebody
crisis?
delete the general messages? He's calling me on Steam, apparently. Okay, well... Let me fix this real quick, guys. He's being completely cancer.
Yeah.
Busy. Alright, well, okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry for all that. Did somebody delete the messages in general?
Good.
Huh?
Yeah, I can't. I don't know.
Okay, rules. Give me a second. Here, Hobo, I gave you rights for removing messages. I made you an admin. Hobo, could you go into general and remove that so I don't show it on stream again?
Who are you talking to? Me or him?
Hobo. The guy.
I can't delete them.
I made you an admin. Try it again.
Manager, admin, yeah.
Here, I'll fix the rule real quick. Sorry guys, we're just, sorry stream. I forgot how to work Discord settings because I'm cancer. Server settings, there we go. Roles. Admin. No, where's delete messages? Messages, manage message, there we go. Alright, now you have the rights to remove the messages, Hobo. Alright, could you move it, Hobo, please? From general.
I don't think you need. I think you can delete them all at once, not one at a time.
Yeah, I just didn't want to have it in stream again. Sorry for everybody if anybody's watching.
I don't think so.
Probably not. But these things
I'm
get
watching,
recorded.
so-
These things get recorded, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, true.
All right. Well, back to the topic at hand. And Hobo's own words. What did you delete the messages though?
He has, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So back to
Before we start again, I have to say I have to go. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't know me and my family were going out to dinner, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Falson, what's your opinion on the immigration crisis in Europe? Falson, hello.
I think it,
Oh, he's speaking. All right, continue. Falson, hello.
I don't really know, because
I
I
mean,
haven't really thought about it too much.
that's kind of why I didn't make you a main debate leader. No, I mean he's a kid. He doesn't have to be worried with these things. He doesn't really have to be worried with politics. But yeah. But so far, yeah. What was I saying?
To be honest, I think that Germany should let, just like, to do about it. Like, Poland wants to keep out, whereas some other countries, such as like Sweden, wants to let all them in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it just should be treated as a case by case based on the immigrant. I don't think everyone should be allowed in. I just think if they're good, hardworking people with degrees and things like that, then they should,
yeah.
they could be allowed in. Or they could be recommended to a government office in their country so they can work to rebuild their country.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but about that, like in European immigration, we're talking about like you want to like have the all hardworking men come in first, like first priority, and but
Hardworking
from those
men and
those,
women.
yeah,
Because if you're not gonna work hard for the country that you want to immigrate to, and you just want to live off their welfare system, then there's no point in immigrating over.
yeah, true. But like I mean, those who comes like from war and need another place from the other country that's in war.
Well, I mean,
Like,
sometimes it's not the host country's real need to bring them in anyway. I mean, it's not our business to get involved in the Middle East. The last time we let a mass immigration happen, it did not go well for either side.
yeah, true.
Especially with the start of the Libyan crisis, that was a mess.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I just think it's time for Europe to just leave behind globalization.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all good and fun, but to have the European Union, I'm fine with that as long as it's not like in everybody's face with like a bunch of restrictions on like, and also Britain needs to have some sort of constitution or act that allows them to have free speech. Because I've known that Laura Sutherland got banned from the UK for expressing libertarian views. She got banned from the UK for experiencing libertarian views, and she's a Canadian journalist.
Oh.
Laura Sutherland.
Wow.
And I'm just like, so she got banned for possible alt-right terrorism when she's a libertarian from Canada, which basically means she's a UK citizen because she's a Commonwealth citizen.
Yeah. Wow.
That's ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty shit.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't sound like she would be a terrorist. She doesn't have any views that would resemble any kind of terrorist, like even a alt-right terrorist.
Yeah, she's from fucking Canada. Well,
Yeah, and she's a libertarian, so
yeah.
I mean, do you think I'm a terrorist because I'm libertarian?
Of course, no.
I mean, if I go to Bern, maybe they'll stop me from coming into the country if they hear this.
Yeah. Go to China and they will shoot you. You know what?
Supporting the alt-right libertarians.
Yeah.
Oh no, they support freedom instead of censorship. Must ban them.
Yeah. And we don't want them here.
We don't want free speech. Keep them in American Canada. But yeah, I mean, and apparently they asked her straight up to her face if she was a terrorist. I'm like, what do they expect do they expect a terrorist to go, oh heck yeah man, I'm a terrorist?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Just a random guy comes in, oh yeah, I'm a terrorist, definitely. I'm like, that's just like even some UK YouTubers that are like liberalist and libertarian are angry at their government for doing that. And I'm just like, how do you fail so badly? How do you fail so badly that you have one of the prominent political figures of your like political YouTubers of your country just interviewing her and expressing sympathy and hatred for his own country for it?
Well, yeah, you fucked up.
I mean, this man has like 3 million subscribers, something like that. I mean, a few 100,000 subscribers, something like that. Not million. I mean, he's a prominent liberalist speaker, which is similar to libertarian, but it's more traditional liberal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
Because
mean.
there's no more traditional liberals in America. There's basically none. You're either the liberals or modern liberal progressives, or
Yeah.
you're conservative. Or you're like a third party like I am. Libertarians never get any votes though.
What did you say?
Libertarians in this country don't get any votes though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it's either like, oh, because for in America there's it's not really a two-party system, but at this point those two parties have so much popularity that it's just kind of like there's no you either vote for one or you have no political voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You either vote for Republicans or you vote for Democrats.
Yeah, true.
Either that or you could vote for a Libertarian and get no maybe get one representative somewhere. Especially where I live, it's just Democrats. Because I live, most of the cities are all Democrats, and all the farmlands are conservative.
Yeah. Most, like where I live, it's mostly like social democrats.
I mean, I feel sorry for you. That's a lot of
Yeah.
That's a lot of censorship.
Yeah, true.
And it's not, I wouldn't consider that any good, because I know that Australia has a Social Democrat Party, which is like basically neo-fascist at that point with their censorship.
Yeah.
I have an Australian friend. They can't play like there's like a bunch of games that are banned there.
Oh wow.
They even temporarily banned GTA 5, and I'm just like, well,
Wow. That's just rude. Damn.
yeah. I mean, it's a violent game, but Jesus, it's not bad enough to get banned.
Yeah, it's a violent game. Ban it. We don't want it here.
We don't want it here in our
It's a child-friendly country. Yeah.
I mean, Australia's got the least gun murders out of everybody because they basically banned weapons too. I'm like, there's. I mean, if you try to do that in America, the culture our culture here is like, no, we can't. And I personally stand by my. I don't own a gun, but I stand by the people who rights that own guns, because it's their right.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Guns are fucking great.
It's every man's right, or man and woman's right, in America, to be able to own a weapon. whether you want to,
Sweden.
whether you want to or not, that's your choice.
Yeah, true.
But I think a few of the amendments are mandatory without any like any benefit of the doubt. Like those are the things that you get. Like freedom of speech in America, that is one that can never be repealed.
Yeah.
If you tried to repeal that, and freedom of the press too. I mean, even though the press is now just cancer in America, they doesn't mean they don't deserve to have a voice.
Yeah, true.
No matter how much I want them to shut up. Also, comedy in America, comedy in general, especially around the world, is now just being censored. Like there's comedy is just not going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't say that. That's a bad word. That's a bad word on the SJW dictionary.
What did you say?
I said, oh, you can't say that because that's a bad word in the SJW dictionary.
What word?
Just any word. You call somebody gay as a joke. Oh, nope, that's bad.
Yeah, true.
It's just like, why does everything have to be that bad? Like I don't think anything should be banned, to be honest.
Nice.
Bum ba ba dum dum da 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 da. But yeah.
We've been live.
What's up?
So just set the time. We've been live like 30 minutes.
We've been live 30. We still got a bit.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break to take a sip and cool down my voice for a second.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we're streaming still, but I just wanted to get a sip of water.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so back to the main topic because we were straying a bit too far away from it.
Yeah.
But
From European immigrants to American comedy. Nice.
well, I mean, what I wasn't saying American comedy, I was saying any comedy in general.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you live in like Armenia, which in that case, then you can say whatever you want.
Fucking Armenia. Yeah, sure.
I mean, as long as it's not about Turkey.
Yeah, yes.
Or I'm sorry, as long as it's not about support of Turkey. That's what I meant to say. You support Turkey? Oh, get out of our country.
What did you say?
It's like, oh, in Armenia, it's like, oh, you support Turkey? Get out of our country.
Yeah.
Bum, bum.
Blue kebab. Yeah.
Get rid of them kebabs. No, but for real, but yeah, even Turkey's been being hit hard by the immigration crisis, and they've retaliated with military force in the Kurdish regions because they've had a bit of Kurdish immigrants and they don't like Kurdish people.
Oh, yeah. True. Wasn't there like a Turkish
They
that were killing people, Israeli people, I think?
no, I don't know about that, but Turkey invaded Afrin in Syria
Oh yeah, true.
to take out the Kurdish there. By the way,
Yeah.
I'd like to add the American-backed Kurds there.
Yeah.
Because of supposedly they're spreading terrorist tendencies across to the Kurdish people there. Supposedly.
Yeah.
I don't really support the Turkish government at all.
No, same here. Fuck that.
I mean, you never know when an accident happens and one of those Turkish soldiers accidentally kills an American. That's gonna be ooh.
Shit happens, you know.
You know, you kill an American, and you've seen what happens when a foreign country kills an American.
Yeah, that's fucked if to do.
You saw what Japan had to go through.
Yeah. Wow, nice.
Yeah, and then a diplomat in like what's it called, Blue Guild. Yeah, that didn't go well for them either. In Libya. Surprise, surprise! As soon as that the diplomat died, a American backed coup happened. Surprise!
Surprise, motherfucker.
Benghazi crisis. America's a funny country.
Yeah, that's eh?
Let me get involved in your oil. I mean, nation.
Yeah. My oil. I mean, our nation. What? Hi.
Yeah, it's basically America in a nutshell.
Yeah.
No, but Britain has not been spared from the crisis at all, in any way, shape, or form. Because I know they're not doing that great. Why is he still calling us?
I don't know.
I think he's being cancer. Oh, that's
I don't
Falsum
think
calling
so.
us. Calling him, I think. I
What
don't
did you
know.
say?
I think that's Falsum calling him or something. Yeah, but yeah, even Britain. I think one of their cities. I think it was in like by I think it was either York or Ludeshire or something like that. They're having issues
Yeah.
with they were having issues with like Muslim rape gangs and things like that. I'm just like, okay, hold on, tech problems. Tell him we're in. Did we tell him we were in the surfer? Jesus Christ! Sometimes I don't get him. I swear to God, sometimes let's do our cancer.
I'm just gonna leave that. Fuck that.
Oh, he's playing War Thunder.
No war for now. Nice.
All right. Well, but yeah, I think. I mean, like you know, it gets bad when even the Spanish get angry about it, because I know the Spanish weren't that happy about the recent waves. European immigration crisis
How did I
debate.
get what?
European immigration crisis debate.
Oh, okay.
What is your opinion while you're here? Guys, this is Mira. Mira, say hi.
Hello.
All right, no. What's your opinion? No, Mira.
I'm afraid I've been caught unawares. Could you please refresh me on the subject?
European immigration crisis. Syrian, Libyan, African.
I mean, when it comes to the topic of immigration, that is a problem, because immigration does cause problems in its own self. Causes job shortages, it can cause economic problems.
If
and
done
so
wrong,
forth.
if done wrong.
If done wrong, yes, but if they can handle the immigration properly, then I see no problem with it.
Well, yeah. Well, the issue is that they can't. I'll move Falsum in here again. Falsum's still not allowed in here.
I could definitely see problems with immigrating people of extremely different heritages,
Yeah.
such as Islamic or Muslims,
Yeah,
for instance, from the
into
Middle
Europe.
East moving into Europe. Their cultures are so vastly different that there is going to be some conflict, just like how there is. I mean, America doesn't really have this problem because we've had immigration policies to deal with stuff like this for so long, really.
Yeah. I mean, but there's always problems when it comes to it because
There's
they
always
can't
gonna be
really
problems with immigration, but that's just a fact.
sort it out that well half the time. So put Falsum at a lower volume because his dog. There we go.
Fucking wall.
I mean-
Man. Turn on push to talk, please.
Yeah, that'd be great. But yeah, for me, I don't. The European countries don't have real way to get it down correctly. That's why it's a bit of an issue.
I mean, another problem with that, though, is, like, as I said, with the culture, there is usually Sharia's law in some of these countries, and
Yeah.
they might find it offensive that women in European countries don't wear, oh, fuck, I forgot the word, give me a second.
Hijabs.
Hijabs, yes. And that can cause tension and possibly violence towards European women, which is a problem, but you need to handle it like you have to treat them like the rest of the people. They're not different. You have to treat them like the rest of the people. If they commit a crime against a woman, then you've committed assault. You've committed assault, and it should come with the punishment that assault carries, not a lower. The governments in Europe do not need to feel fear for this. It's not like you're going to have a full-scale uprising of Islamic citizens inside the country. It's not something you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about full-scale anarchy. Because if things get too bad, that's what they're going to have in the news.
God,
You'll excuse me for a second. I have to go deal with something.
I'm going. Is it your dog or Felson's dog?
Yes,
Okay, that's yours.
Fuck off, damn.
Oh,
That's his dog, or?
that was. I think Felson's dog was an issue. Then he muted himself for. No, Felson's got his dog shirted out. I think.
Yeah, okay.
Live. Okay. Well, there's nothing on the chat right now.
Alright, sorry about that. I'm back.
Why?
But you were saying, Mir?
I mean, as I was saying, like, do you understand where I'm coming from with this, though?
I understand the non-uprising thing. Yeah.
Like, they're afraid of an uprising if they don't handle this properly. Well, if you don't handle it at all, and you kind of just let it slide, that you're gonna have an uprising sort of situation anyways.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But it all just comes down to, like, I don't know.
Bear.
You know. Do you have an opinion on that?
I mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from with it, but I just think it just depends on how they deal with it mostly, because you gotta have them adhering to the same common laws as the rest of the country. Otherwise, you just have no order when it comes to just your laws in general.
Yeah, true.
Because they said, as put by Sargon of Akkad, English common law should apply to all citizens of Britain, or of England at least. You know what I mean? So should Swedish common law to Sweden. I mean, of course, there's different variations and like different reasons and for different punishments. You're not going to use the same law because there's always different factors and that kind of stuff. It just depends on what the reasoning is behind it, what the motive usually is.
I mean, I am really intrigued to see how this will turn out, and hopefully it turns out well, but, things can go wrong.
Well, I think Germany especially needs to fix their policies, because I know for a fact Bavaria hates the German policies, because Bavaria is a very conservative state of Germany, and they're the only really fully conservative state of Germany. Like they're a good majority conservative. With just the way they're very traditional there, because they have a different history than the rest of Germany mostly. If anything, they're closer to the Austrians when it comes to their language, their dialect.
Now, when it does come to that, like, regional separation, do you think that'll play a factor in some of these scenarios? Like,
well, I mean,
Sweden,
of course,
do you think?
like in Sweden, half the country is against it, half the country is for it. I mean, but the people who have power aren't losing it, though. And especially in Sweden, like the Social Democrats have been in power for a long time, and it's not working anymore. What's your opinion on the Social Democrat Party in general, right up?
What?
What's your opinion on the Social Democrat Party and their policies in Sweden in general?
Like the main, like they want to like expel like what do you say? Like you take away all the illegal immigrants out of the country.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing to do. And they also want to like filter, I can say like filter out
Yeah, but
the
that's
immigrants.
that's
so
not
so the less.
that's not necessarily what they're doing though. They're kind of letting them more in, or at least they were. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they're kind of the start of the problem in Sweden, and now they're trying to fix it. That seems like a little bit of a 360 turn on
Yeah.
their policies.
They're trying to fix it, of course, but
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to fix something that you start. Just ask Merkel.
yeah.
I mean, half this stuff, and she's supposed to be conservative, by the way, for Germany standards. Merkel is in no way she's conservative, even for American standards. Like even for center right can like standards, she is not a center right politician. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what I mean.
Because their Social Democrat Party there is like basically communist, and then their Conservative Party is basically like our liberal party in America.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you do that? I'm like, in Bavaria they actually banned the Conservative Party.
Did it ban them?
Yeah, they banned it and made another Conservative Party there
Wow.
with a similar name. And they're allied with the other party, but they like have a hatred towards Merkel in general. And I'm just like, how do you ban what? How do you specifically that state banned that that party? And I'm like, where?
What?
And also Bavaria's been asking for a lot more autonomy than other states too, and they're called and even in their name they're called the Free State of Bavaria. Not just the state of Bavaria, like most of them are called, like state of Württemberg. They're literally called.
Do you think we'll see a return of like independent states in places like Germany and Europe?
I don't think that's ethical though, to be honest.
Because I know Scotland was considering a vote for independence from Great Britain.
Scotland.
Yeah, well,
we know how that turned out last time.
well, you see, there's no real way for them to separate because there's nothing in English law that says they can't. There's nothing in the
There's
United
also,
Kingdom's laws which
like,
says they can.
Places like Catalonia in Spain. Or
The
Iberia.
only part of UK which can legally secede is Northern Ireland, and they voted to stay in Britain every time that they were asked, instead of go to Ireland.
Hmm.
And they generally have a violent history with each other too, the Northern Irish and the Irish. In recent times, at least. Like there was a big war between the Irish at one point, or civil war between the Irish at one point in like the recent, not even that long ago. I think it was like before World War II.
No, it wasn't that long ago at all.
Yeah, I think it was called the Troubles in Ireland.
Time of Troubles.
Time of Troubles, yeah. But yeah, even now Ireland's extremely separated, and also Ireland released a plan called Ireland 2040 or 2040.
Another question that I would like to pose is, we know that Greece is currently in debt, and they've been in debt for a while, and it's just a factor that their nation is quite heavily in debt.
Yeah.
Do you think that can play a part in their immigration crisis in Europe?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think the economic status of some of the poorer European nations will affect it, or do you think
It already has, because Greece is like a jumping off point for most of these people. Until like Serbia and Hungary close their borders, and now they'd prefer to land in Sicily. But
isn't Italy having problems with this right now?
mainly with Libyan and West African immigrants, but yeah, they have Syrian issues also. Because most immigrants come from like sub-Saharan Africa, and then they go to Libya and then get a trip over to Sicily. where a lot of times they're just abandoned and forgotten about there. And there's a large issue with gang violence there for them, for Italy. I mean, they already had mob issues before, like the 2000s. So I mean,
Well, yeah.
but now it's not Italian-born mobs. It's now now African gangs that are the issue.
Hmm.
And there's also a African, or a group of 3 Africans killed an Italian girl, and then
I remember that.
when that guy decided to turn, and when a Italian man with a criminal history decided to shoot 3 I think there's a few, I think it's like a innocent African woman. Then when they sent him to prison, he was cheered by the inmates as he went into prison for his actions, and these were Italian inmates mostly.
Hmm.
The Italian inmates cheered him for murdering an innocent woman.
So, on the subject of gang violence, that does also pose another problem. Immigrating gangs from the Middle East, who come from some of these places,
And
might also bring some of their gang violence into these countries.
They
which
already have.
already have problems. Like,
I mean, they already have brought gang violence in.
yeah, like maybe we might see intense gang wars going on between immigrating Middle Eastern factions into European areas.
Well, the mafia is taking advantage of the new gangs, because the new gangs don't know how it works in Italy, so they're kind of like using the black gangs as kind of like puppets, from what I know so far. You know what I mean? Especially in Sicily. And a lot of the Italian mob bosses don't necessarily have that long of a lifespan anymore, because they're kind of targeted by police mostly. And the police completely ignore the African gang so far, or have tried to. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Due to issues of them not wanting to stir up racial tension, apparently. Which I think is complete, like just utter, like that's
Like, there's already
cancer.
racial tension. Trying not to stir up more is understandable, but
Well, I mean,
just like,
but not arresting gang members though. That's ooh. You know what I mean?
mm,
Especially in a broken area like Sicily, because Sicily is very, very poor. Or sorry, yes, Sicily. Because Venice makes more money than any other, or makes a lot of money compared to most of the other states. Venice and Naples.
isn't Venice on unstable soil? Like, in that city set to like sink in a few years?
I have no idea, to be honest, but the state of Venice, or the kind of like the region of Venice makes more money than they're given by the state to improve their infrastructure. They pay more in taxes to the state, and then they get back. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So there was also a Venetian separatist movement that was going on for a while in Italy. I'm pretty sure it's still going on, but it's not picking up as much steam as it did. I think like it was 2007.
Hi, I'm back.
And we're talking about Italy still. But yeah, there's always the issue of regional separatism too, because especially as governments fail. And also there's a big spike in Italian nationalism since the last election, which I went over with Ryan earlier, because they're reacting to the large waves of immigration. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Especially in the south of Italy. And they're not reacting kindly. Let's just put it that way. So most of these people are borderline fascist. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's especially one. There's even one that got banned from elections for calling Jewish people disgusting.
Oh, wow.
He got banned from being able to be elected. And I'm like, what? I don't know how you get banned from being elected, especially in a free country. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with him being banned for that. But I mean that technically there is, but in America there might be, but in Italy no.
There's a confliction there, though, between ethics and free rights.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
there you see someone who has the possibility to violate someone else's free rights as a leader, but you want to keep everyone else's rights as they have a right to elect their own leader.
Yeah, well, I mean, in America, it would be heresy, but to ban him, but or it wouldn't be heresy. It would just be like looked down upon to ban anybody. But in Italy, Italy's way different. In Britain, you'd be banned in 5 seconds. You'd be banned from public speaking in 5 seconds. You know what I mean? You'd be like, "Pop, banned." Because they banned where I showed you the video of the Sargon of Akkad video on Laura Sutherland. She had no reason to be banned from that country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They flagged her on false terrorist, she claims. I was just like, ooh. I'm like, in no way did she look, sound, or have the intentions of a terrorist. I mean, like, there's no looking like a terrorist, but I mean, she's a frail woman, like a thin woman. Not to insult her or anything like that, but I mean, she's definitely not going to be able to carry out any acts. She doesn't have the connections like that. You know what I mean? Being a libertarian is also not that radical of an idea. And she was, like I said, Commonwealth citizen before, but you know, which basically makes her a British citizen. Basically. I mean, I'm pretty sure English common law is similar to Canadian common law also. So I mean, it's different from Quebec common law. I know Quebec common law has their own. They have their own thing, which is similar to French, I think. The French old common laws, so more modernized. You know what I mean? Anything else you guys want to add before we end?
Not really, no.
I can't really think of anything at the moment.
All right, well then I guess we'll wrap that up because my throat is terrible. Ooh, because I've been doing the most talking here. All right, well see you in the next one.